In this video, I'm going to tell you 6 game-changing tips that will 100% improve your gameplay and guarantee that you become an FPS god. What's up, team? Mike just joined. If you're new here, I post weekly Cold War and Rocket League content, so if you want to learn about either game, just watch/enjoy, or catch up on my Cold War campaign playthrough, consider subscribing. So without further ado, step 1. Perfect your settings. Changing your settings is probably something that you've heard about before, but I can't stress this enough how important it actually is to tune your settings perfectly. Your settings are the foundation of everything you do in any FPS game, and I'll show you exactly how to set them right.
Before we change anything, I need you to understand a concept.
The higher the number of frames per second that you run your game, the smoother the on-screen movement will be. More frames literally means more movement is displayed, making tracking targets significantly easier at higher frame rates. The general rule of thumb is that you want to run your games at twice the refresh rate of your monitor, or more, in order to maximize the effectiveness of this. Side note, if you don't know what refresh rate means, or if you're just playing on a standard TV, then automatically assume your refresh rate is 60 Hz. All that means is that you want to be playing your games at 120 frames per second or more in order to maximize the on-screen movement. Our goal here is to use this knowledge to tune our settings to achieve our desired frame rate while also enhancing our gameplay in the process.
Whether any of that made sense or not, don't worry. I'm going to show you a step-by-step on how to do this on PC. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to make more specific videos about anything that you guys have questions about. Alright, so the first thing that we need to change is actually our Windows power setting. So go ahead and open up your search bar in the bottom left and type in power. It's going to bring up our power and sleep settings. Now, once we're inside of this menu, you're going to want to look for additional power settings located on the right side of the menu. Now, once you click this, it's going to bring up one more small menu. And all you need to be concerned about is this high performance setting. You're going to want to click that because that's going to allow your system to use energy efficiently and actually boost the performance of your system overall, benefiting all of the games you play. Please do be aware that this setting is going to make your system use a little bit more power. So if you're on a laptop or something like a limited power supply, do be aware that this is going to use a little bit more. Alright, and one last Windows setting that we need to change before we move on. Go ahead and type in mouse. And this is going to bring up our mouse settings menu. Now, why we're here is that we actually want to go to additional mouse options, pointer options, and make sure that enhanced pointer precision is turned off. Now, this setting has to do with the acceleration of your mouse, meaning that the faster you move your mouse, the faster the pointer moves. Now, we don't want that actually, because what we want is the pointer to move the same amount as we move our hand at any speed, meaning that we can learn things like being consistent with our aim rather than how fast we have to move our mouse. Alright, so now that we're finished off changing our Windows settings, we're actually going to go in game. So I'm going to use Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War as my example, but feel free to follow along with any game that you're playing yourself. Now, the things we want to focus on first is our refresh rate, and this is going to match the refresh rate of your monitor. The setting that goes with this setting is actually down a little bit more at your custom frame rate for your gameplay. So this is going to need to match that display rate, and here is the same place that you can turn it unlimited or a specified amount that you choose. I'm using 145 because running my games at a high rate while recording, it actually is really hard on my machine. So I like to run it at least my display rate. Now, if you go down a little bit more, you get to the general settings of the game. These are the settings that are going to affect how your game looks on your display. And really, it's not going to affect gameplay so much as it's just going to affect aesthetic things. So turning these settings down to the minimum is actually what I recommend. It's going to allow your machine to have a lot more VRAM in order to actually render your game faster and faster instead of being focused on making it look better and better. Now that we have our settings out of the way, let's move on to step number 2. Step 2, the right sensitivity. Now, sensitivity is a widely debated thing on the internet,
but after years of playing FPS games, I'm going to show you exactly how to pick the right one. First thing we need to set up is our DPI. Alright, so first things first, for those of you who already know what DPI is, and for those of you who already have a rainbow lighted gamer mouse with the software and everything, I'm going to tell you the best DPI settings, so just hold on. DPI, or dots per inch, refers to the amount of pixels on the display the pointer will move when the mouse moves 1 inch. Think about it like your mouse's default sensitivity. If you don't already know what DPI means, then don't worry. Your mouse is likely, by standard, 800 DPI. It just so happens that 800 DPI is just the best DPI setting anyway, because, well, there really is no overwhelming reason to raise it any higher. If anything, I'd say you'd be better off even lowering it to something like 400 in a game like Counter-Strike where you want precise control over your aim. Your mouse's DPI will be the foundation of your in-game sensitivity, so it's important to set it up early and correctly. Now, if you have mouse software, please take a second to pause this video and go ahead and change your setting to 800. And if you don't have any software at all, don't worry. It's probably just 800 by default. Now that we have our DPI set up correctly, let's actually go in-game and change our in-game sensitivity there. Now, I promise you that the best way to set this up is to go into a match where there are moving targets of any kind. Just make sure you have enough space to move around the target. I recommend a private match or a training match where you can shoot bots or computers that won't hurt you. Oh, he said training match? Right. Nice. I'm gonna get the... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my...
1 hour later.
Oh, dude, my sense is kind of crazy. I might have to tune it down a little bit. It really is not worth the extra time of playing online matches to find your sensitivity when you could just find the right one and practice becoming consistent with it instead. Once you're in a match, all you need to do is track your target while strafing right to left, keeping the same distance between you and the target. Now, adjust your sensitivity up and down based on 2 factors: how comfortable it is for your hand/arm, and how easy it is to track the target. Consistency will come with time, so focus on finding something that's comfortable rather than meta. Now that we've conquered settings and sensitivity, you'll be able to play any game from now on and feel confident that you know exactly how to set it up correctly. This brings us to step 3. Step 3, develop game sense. I'll quickly make sense out of game sense for you. Game sense is the combination of mastering the environment of the game and mastering playing as your own character. This skill can be quickly developed by trying to come up with your own answers to questions like, what are the best spots on the map? And what are they called? Where are enemies probably spawning right now? And would a red dot sight be better than these iron sights? The level at which you can come up with reasonable answers for these questions will determine your level of game sense in any particular game. Developing this skill will allow you to think about what's going to happen next in your game, allowing you to better make decisions about how you play. Alright, now that we've gotten through our first 3 steps in this guide, you're already ready to go into your online matches and start stomping. Absolutely stomping. But if you wait, these next 3 steps are going to take you from stomping in your online matches to actually becoming an FPS god. Alright, quickly, if you've liked this video so far or learned anything at all, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. It really does help me as a small YouTube channel, and I've put a lot of effort into this video for you guys, so I hope you like it. Step 4, anticipate other players. This step is simple. Always know the answer to these next 3 questions. Where is my nearest teammate? Where did the last kill on the map happen? And what/who is the biggest threat to me right now? If you can keep track of these 3 things, I promise you that you will see immediate improvement in your gameplay. Keeping track of these things on top of your developed game sense will allow you to plan out engagements and overall map movement, giving you advantages in any fight you end up taking. This leads us directly to step 5. Step number 5, give yourself advantages. Why do all of the best Call of Duty Warzone players run and slide so fast that you actually start to worry about their hands? Because movement is the most common advantage you can give yourself in any FPS FPS game. Even changing the height of your character can have a huge impact on the outcome of gunfights. Better movement equals better gunfights. It's simple, but movement is not the only friend you have on the Warzone. You actually have the Warzone itself. The layout of the map can give you huge advantages, from small things like being able to close doors, blocking lines of sight, to huge advantages like using head glitch cover, where the only part of your character model that the enemy can see is your head. By using game sense, predicting other players, and using the map to your advantage, you should feel comfortable and confident dropping into whatever Warzone you choose. And this finally brings us to the final step. Drum roll. Step 6. Mindset is everything. Being aware of your own mindset is the main thing that sets you and a professional player apart. The ability to keep calm under pressure and avoid tilting/getting angry is a difficult skill to develop. But if you commit to having a positive mindset, even in the toughest matches, you won't only be better in a clutch, you'll also improve your gameplay so rapidly and adaptively that it's going to lead you to play better and better in every single match that you play. To drive this point home, know two things. Humans don't perform well while upset, and your teammates are going to still be on your team even after you yell at them, which probably won't make them play any better. Mastering these steps will 100% guarantee that you achieve the level of FPS God in your own gameplay. Subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and finally, don't forget about me when you're sitting on top of any competitive ladder you choose to climb. Thanks for watching. Peace.